Hello, darlings. I'm having so much fun watching this movie. I think I'll have even more by reading your letters. Our first letter of the week. Dear Millie, I want to thank you for your autographed pictures. I was right. It does scare small animals out of trees. However, I fear arrest and heavy fines if I use it for that purpose, as I believe it could be considered a deadly weapon. Sincerely yours, John T. Buckler. Oh, dear John, you are quite right. We don't endorse cruelty to small, furry creatures at all, unless they're television executives. Oops. Dear Millie, I'm enclosing a picture of an unidentifiable, flushable object. He was quite harmless, and he would have stayed longer, but he had to run. Show cartoons at halftime. It might help to relieve the trauma of thousands. Sincerely, Plumber Mike. Oh, dear Plumber Mike, is this a vote of confidence for Gumby?
Gumby! 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 Gumby!
Is that little clay bugger going to make a comeback?
Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back!
Let's see what happens. Dear Millie, here are our responses to your recent survey. 1E, none of the above. 2B, certainly not long enough, more Millie or else. 2B, irrelevant, since we only watch for you anyway. 4C, everybody on the show except for you. Or B, Millie's wardrobe, depending on what you mean by it. Your loving fans, Joel C. Justin and Scott E. Pack. Oh, darlings, thank you for writing, Scott and Joel. Our responses so far show that viewers like what we're doing. That stands to reason, or they wouldn't watch. But some muckamucks around here think that the only people who watch are high school kids who like Friday the 13th movies. And I love them, too. Well, we have to prove them wrong, though. So send your cards and letters this week, darlings, to Millie TV, Monsterpiece Theatre, P.O. Box 1457, Lexington, Kentucky, 40591. Millie say, write me letters. Get free autographed picture of me and Queen Elizabeth in funny hat. The Queen's the one in the funny hat. I say, Queen, darling, where do you get those hats? Queen say, Millie, darling, may I take Bob back to England with me to do my hair and makeup and show that Lady Di once and for all? I say, no. Queen say, darling, when do you start showing better movies? I say, write me a letter and I'll tell you.
Oh, please, Millie, can I please go to England?
No.
I know lots of people there, and I can speak English. I know the language.
No.
Oh, please.
No, 1 million in the world is enough. No.
I'll write some letters every week.
Sorry, darling.
What about maybe if you went along?
No.
Oh, please, Millie, can I please?
Nice movie, and it's about time, too, darling. It was certainly enjoyable, but I've seen enough of it, and I'm ready to enjoy these really fascinating scenes from next week's movie, which is another of the Orgy of the Living Dead trilogy. Yes, next week's movie is the famous Italian-French classic, La Lama del Corpo, a.k.a. Murder Clinic. It's reasonable and customary to show exciting scenes from next week's movie immediately following my introduction of said exciting scenes, Keith.
It's reasonable and customary to wait until we're finished with this week's wonderful movie before we show exciting scenes of next week's wonderful movie, Millie.
Well, I thought if we got it out of the way now, we could go home early tonight, Keith. I mean, it's not as if anyone's watching this movie anyway. See? What did I tell you? Hello, darling. You're caller number 5, and you win a free picture of me. Now, what's your favorite TV station?
I just called to let you know that I'm watching this movie. Now, hurry up and show the end of it. I want to see this fool get staked.
Oh, how sweet you are to stay up all night and watch a Dino De Laurentiis vampire movie when you could be reading Treasure Island. It's for you, Keith. Say, do you have hemorrhoids?